The sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out to play. Oh, the chart's coming out to play. Let's find out.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This is your first time here. I'm the big fella Scruff, and I'm trying to put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do take a second to hit that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps and motivates me to do more. If you find interest in this, do hit the bell icon as well. Leave a comment because I answer every single one of them, and smash the like. So that's all of the blurb out of the way about trying to keep YouTube running. What are we doing with the charts? Well, we're going to be looking at the DAX. Now, what I do every morning is I make up a strength sheet, which is here. Now, this will tell you the products that's going to move in the Forex markets. In other words, strongest, weakest, all of that sort of thing. It'll also tell you which ones are pretty good to look at in the majors. And then you need to cross-reference that into here. So out of the majors, the best one is probably the USA, this one here, Aussie dollar. Because the US is strongest, Aussie there. And then sure enough, there it is there. I like to look at that in an afternoon. So Friday, chances of me looking at it pretty slim. But what I also do is I take it a bit further with this section here, which is where I give the guys the bias of what it is I'm looking at, which is here, right there. Okay, and I'm looking at the DAX. Now, what I'm also doing, now they should have had a notification, but I also put it into the Discord, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. So the guys can watch this and come along with me. Is I put a video in, and that video is this trade that I'm about to take. Now, they'll be able to watch that and trade along with it. Now, they already know what I'm going to be looking at, because every morning we also have morning calls. And these morning calls are face-to-face, live, and we've already discussed what we're looking at today. All right. Now, Bubbles brought up some great insights into what he was looking at, and I hope they bring value. They genuinely do. It's a great community. So why did I show you that? Well, it's very simple, because I like the guys to see what I'm doing before I do it, so that they can see the video. It's a few minutes long, but it's exactly what I'm looking for and why I'm doing it. And within that Discord, there is the way of the scruff, so they actually know what it is I'm looking for. Because a lot of people watch me trade and they don't fully understand what it is I'm looking at. It's very simple. It's levels, and you're working from a zone to a zone. That's it. There's no holy grails in trading, and there's certainly nothing new. And that's one of the things. I was interviewed last night, and talk about fundamentals, talk about macro economics and everything. And to me, on a day trade, it means nothing. Because do you really think it's going to affect the next 10 minutes? Of course it's not. The chart will show you what you need to see. So let's have a little look at said chart. So if we look at this from a daily perspective, you can see it's pushed up, it plateaued, it's tried to go up, it's come back down. Now this is a range. You can see that range, and it's working back to the top of it. Okay, can go with that. Now look at it, right? It's pushed down, gone up, pushed down. It's now on its way back up. So up here is a reasonable area to think about getting in, or taking profits rather. So the further that comes down, the better. And then we're going to push it higher. Look at the hourly. Where are we working? This is the area that we're looking at. Well, there it is there. It's rolled over aggressively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. It's running out of steam. You can see that here. Small candle. Failing and now pushing back. Well, I've got this marked out. Well, if it's pushing back, getting into here, reasonable. Now I've got plenty of money to play with. You know, I've got nothing running. There's my tickets. And there's the history. Got a bit of a clip yesterday, but I was still net positive. So I've got all of this money here to play with, as well as my daily allowance anyway. So never worry about risk. Plan it out. So what else are we going to be doing? Well, I'm going to wait on this to see if we can get 50, 60 quid or whatever it is. You know, the more the merrier. You know, sometimes get pulled in that. Well, why do you say you're getting 50 quid and then you pull out £1,000? Well, I don't. It's actually a pip count. I base it on, it's £5 a pip, 10 pips, 50 quid. If I get that, I'm happy. You know, but some days I might get 2 or 3 orders triggered, which means I'll get 150 quid. If I can carve, I can turn that 150 into 300 quid. I never go in with an expectation. It's a case of keep your standards low and you're never disappointed. It's that simple. The money doesn't mean anything. The money is the byproduct of doing the job. What I'm more interested in is seeing that I'm following a process. Excuse me, I'm following a process. I've got a frog in my throat. I need a drink. Got to have your coffee, guys. Got to have your coffee. And we all know Scruffy likes it coffee. And he likes it in his Scruffy mug as well. Got loads of these now. There's a little trade shelf. Winky sells them for next to nothing, and it's pretty much free delivery worldwide unless you're in the darkest corner. But check it out and support it. Helps a good charity as well. Anyway, cut long story short, what am I looking for here? Well, I'm looking for the market to come down and then go up. That's it. Very, very simple. Easy. So I'll be looking to enter in and around this area. It's moving into it now. Have we got... Yeah. I'll just wait. So we'll drop it into 5 minutes. We'll see what's happening there. Just so you can see the arena it's in. Now this is interesting, and I'll show you for why. All of these candles are progressively getting smaller. Big thumper. Shows us change in sentiment. The sellers are trying to come in. Huge tails. Thump. Sellers are trying to come in. Thump. Try. Thump. Try. Fail. Thump. They're having another go, and now the buyers are starting to come in. So we should be able to pick up sort of some decent money in here. Now to get to the top of that green barrier, if we entered at the top of that candle, there's 25 pips into the middle of it. That'll easily pay you. Easily. So we can start the ball rolling here and make the candle come, like make the trade come to us, and just go thump, get some money and be done. Simple stuff. And then work the waves. You know, you want 10 pips, you'll find 10 pips easily. Let me show you how small that actually is. So there's a box of 10 pips. Doesn't even have to get to the green. If I put it on the top of there, that would have smacked it. On there, wouldn't have had to have waited long. We can find 10 pips relatively easy, safely. And this is coming down into an area that I'm now interested in. So let me run this out, and I'll come back to you at the Okay, guys. Just flick this over. I'm out. It's kind of done what I wanted it to do. Let me show you some marks that I put into the chart. Did I get as much out as I want? Nah, not really. But I had the sense to pull it out. So it's made a bit of money. Can I go back to market? Of course I can. Now these blue lines, if I sort of show you where they came from, pull back out to the hourly, we can see there's a massive drive here. Now the inertia of the market is mainly to the upper side. But it'll test and pull back to these all the time, as it will these zones that I've marked in. Now if I draw a fib into this and we start looking at roughly where this started, you'll see they line up. Perfect stall point. Look at that tail, went straight to it. Now I'm out. I don't need to enter the market. I've been paid, because one of the things you want to be doing is when the market offers you money, take it. Right? Don't be a hero. Take it to 15 minutes. Now, cashed it out. Well, maybe it's about 15 minutes ago. It was that candle anyway. Went up, stalled. Saw the stall. How did I know that? Well, look. We're talking. Started getting in, came away, came back down to roughly where I wanted to get in at the start. So I got in a little bit early. Wallop, up it went. But I saw it faltering. Let me show you it faltering in more zoomed in. I don't necessarily trade these, but you can kind of see it went up, and that's what created the tail. This thing here. Big chunky candle, but it just went up, stopped dead, and immediately opened down. Now look at the gap between there and there. All right. That is the start of a flush to push down. How do you know? Because it gapped immediately. That meant there was a quick, rapid change in sentiment. Okay. And it creates these things here. And you can see it there. All right. So you see these little sort of imbalances, if you want to call it that. I'm not big on all of that, but you kind of recognize the candles. And suddenly you know when to take the money. And that's what I did here. I saw it filtering. I took out the top one because, well, I just got in a bit early. So I took it out for a couple of quid. Took the bulk of the money off and then watched it. And it started to recede. So I decided I will just take it all out and I'll reset it if I want to. Well, if I'm resetting down here in this. And I can then start the process again and look to see if I can get it back up onto this level or into here. But am I going to do it right now? No. I'm going to let this sort itself out for half an hour. Then I'll go into it. So that is kind of a way. Some people will call that a scalp. I guess it is. Well, let's put it this way. Let's talk about scalps. What is a scalp? Well, a scalp is just a quick trade. That's it. So if you're a day trader, by definition, you're a scalper. So it's not a bad thing. But there's a difference between scalping for 2 or 3 pips and thinking that's the way forward. To me, that's not. I think if you're a day trader, because there is a difference. A day trader looks for a minimum of about 10 pips, 15 pips, something like that. That's enough to pay you, but 2 or 3 pips is not. And the difference is you can build up a decent petrol tank, you know, put some money in the bank off 10s and 20s and 30 pips. That can pay off something that goes wrong. If you're doing 2 to 3 pips at a time, you've got to be pretty much cock accurate every single time. And that's what makes things a bit different. Okay. So don't be frightened of being a scalper. Just be cautious with your targets and Certainly your position size. If you put your position size on too big, you will know about it. And trust me, it'll hurt you. But proof in the pudding. Proof in the pudding. I do this every day. I pretty much make a video every day, sometimes even 2 or 3 a day. Why? It's just my job. You know, I come to market, switch the screens on, I put the camera on, and then I just go about my day. So it's never edited. It's never sort of made to make it look good. The guys in the group, we had a great call this morning. One of them was trying to explain to a friend the way I trade, and they just couldn't get it. But that's because 90% of what you see is bollocks. You know, I trade because I come from industry. I get in, I get out, I get paid, and I quit. That's it. You know, trading's not difficult. Only those that are trying to sell you a very expensive course will try and tell you that it's, well, there's a magic system. There isn't. Price goes up, price goes down, price goes nowhere. You're already 1 in 3 of getting it right. If you can recognize the market is going nowhere, and that is easy because the candles aren't moving, you are down to 50-50. And then you should be able to recognize more times that you're right than you're wrong. And if you're wrong more times than you're right, you ain't doing this job right. It's just my thoughts. Work your levels out, pick a direction, stick with it. That is buying in the face of a downward move, but I do think my overall analysis is correct. Even when I was wrong yesterday, it was correct. I just took the decision to kill it off. So there we go. If you're stuck, I'm very easy found. I'm very amenable. I answer every single message that comes in, whether it's email, on WhatsApp, whatever. Can I give you the right answer all the time? No, but I'll always talk to you, because what I normally get is, I'm just starting, what strategy do I use? Well, what I'll say to that is, you've already failed if you think the strategy is going to make you money. It's not. You can get in just on support and resistance, break of a level, under 20 moving average, you're in, you're good. It's how you manage the trade and how you manage yourself is how you become a good trader. And that is something that community that I run specializes in. It's all about mindset. Strategy's easy. Strategy is so easy. Go on Baby Pips. There's a free course there. It's as good as any paid course. Study it, understand it, and you'll be fine. When you see all these new concepts that you see on YouTube, they're talking basically everything I've been saying for years, but just packaged up in different words. You know, it's nothing changes. High, low, levels, just the same. Study the price, study the candles. You only need sort of 2 candles to have a look at. A doji and a hammer. Understand them at the top of a move. They'll tell you the sentiment's changing. Very simple. If you've got fat candles, there's big volume. You've got small candles, there's low volume. So why do you need a volume indicator? You don't. Keep the charts as clean as possible and you'll be fine. And then just less is more. Get in, get out, get paid, be happy. Sermon according to Scruff. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.